Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
What's up and what's going on, Fellow Fanatix, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss all things movies, TV, streaming, hot topics, and more. And one of the movies that are currently out in theaters, I think it's on its second weekend now, is the Lightyear film. And it is now one of the current hot topics going on right now. If you listen to some of the fans or you listen to the news outlets, the film has not done as expected. So this is coming to us from NBC News. Q, if you wouldn't mind reading what NBC News had to say about the Lightyear film and its lackluster expectations from the studio.
Yeah. The film was expected to open near to $70 million in the US and Canada, according to industry analysts. Toy Story 4 launched to a commanding $120.9 million in June 2019, according to ComScore, a firm that tracks box office data. A senior media analyst at ComScore said some filmgoers may not have realized that Lightyear was a spin-off of the popular Toy Story saga, while others might have expected it to premiere on the streaming service Disney Plus, like the previous Pixar movies. He struck an optimistic note, however, saying despite coming in with a lower than expected weekend, Lightyear should benefit in the coming days as word gets out to family audiences who may not have entirely made the Toy Story connection, and that the film is only available in theaters. That sounds like horse shit.
That sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
That sounds like a fat ass excuse.
It's all horse shit. I mean, a lot of people, I will say this though, a lot of people were not exactly excited for the Lightyear film. Now, when we first talked about it, I always said that it was one that I was excited to see. A lot of people weren't excited to see it. Why? Because it has no connection to the wider Toy Story story besides the opening message that, you know, back in 19 whatever.
This is the movie Andy watched, right?
You know, so it has no connection to the wider Toy Story
MCU,
there.
the Toy Story U,
the Toy Story U, and it also it had no Tim Allen. You know, Tim Allen wasn't voicing; it was Chris Evans. So a lot of people were like, "Well, I don't care. Why do I care to see a Buzz Lightyear? Because it was fucking amazing. Is why.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, it was so
really
dope.
Cool.
It was so dope, dude.
Bro, it had elements of Interstellar, and I love that fucking film.
No, bro,
we're
going. Let's go. First 10 minutes, they're on the planet. Aliens begin to attack them. They pull out fucking blade swords. They're cutting aliens. One of them jumps on his partner. What does he do? He pulls out a pistol and shoots it. I was like, dope. In a Pixar film?
It was dope. But it was the time travel stuff for me too. Like the overall, like the 4 minutes to him up there is 4 years to them back on that planet. So it's just like
I remember when they were doing the montage, right, where it's take off, land, drive, door, take off, and doing it again. Oh, shit. His partner that kept aging, dude, my kid was like, she's going old, she's not going to survive this, she's not going to get this spell. Like, he was so concerned in that moment, and I was just like, wow, like this.
It was good. It was such a jaw, like when, not jaw-dropping, but when I figured out, when he came back and he said, you got to be, and she explained to him, I was like, oh, well, that's what we're doing. And I was like, that's, it's such a cool concept because it's
accurate.
It is accurate.
They partnered with NASA on a lot of the stuff for this film. I thought the Zerg reveal was fantastic.
Yeah, that was one of the only things I complained about was I would have preferred Zerg to be Zerg. It'd be just Zerg. I didn't really like that. It was I like how they did it. It was cool, but I would have preferred Zerg just be Zerg and not be Buzz from another reality.
I liked it though because it made sense with what they were doing here, and that was the thing is Buzz. Zerg was the personification of all of the faults that Buzz had brought to life. Buzz was everything's my fault. I have to do this. I have to do this by myself. I can't have help. So what does he do? He builds a giant team of robots because he doesn't trust anyone to help him. Right. He won't even listen to himself in front of his face because he's right and he has to champion everything. That's why I loved it, because it's like it's you, bro. Right. It's you on full display.
Right. And one of the things too that could be affecting the viewership, is that people, the audience, general audiences have gotten comfortable, with the fact that Pixar just drops their shit on Disney Plus because the effects of COVID and everything like that. Things have just been going like Turning Red, what should have gone to the theaters theaters. It went straight to Disney Plus. So a lot of people were expecting, well, is Lightyear just going straight to Disney Plus? Now, that could have an effect on the viewership.
No, let's be real. There's one reason.
Here's another thing that could definitely have an effect on the viewership, and this is where I'm going to shift tones a little bit, where I'm going to start getting a little pissy because it's the same-sex kiss. And now, when I saw the film, either I looked away, or I was on my phone, or I was looking because I took my nephew, or I was looking talking to him, or something like, I don't know. Did we go to the bathroom? Did I blink? I didn't see the kiss. So either I missed it, or it was that quick.
No, it was that quick because my wife, whenever we left the theater, she goes, I guess they took out the same-sex kiss. I said, no, it was 2 seconds of a 2-hour-long film. It wasn't even a highlighted moment. It was, when during the montage, door keeps opening. It shows her, shows them, the sun grows up, blah, blah, blah. Then one of the last doors says, happy 40th anniversary, and as the door is shutting, they kiss, and everyone's like, yeah, because they've been, it was so fast, and for people to shit on this movie, this very, very good movie.
And I do mean shit on this movie. There are people out there that are making this such a big deal. I have seen so many things on social media, on Facebook especially. My Facebook friends, I've said this often about Facebook. God, I've said this often about Facebook. Here's the thing about Facebook.
You're showing your age.
You post statuses with the idea that people on your Facebook friends list don't know you in real life. So when you post hypocritical fucking things and you're out here living something completely different, you're a fucking hypocrite. You look dumb as fuck on Facebook when you post stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the issue that I have with it, again, I don't have an issue with the bigots out there upset about the kiss. That's not my issue, because bigots are going to bigot. People are going to be upset. That's going to happen regardless of any media or whatever the fuck happens. People are always going to complain about something, especially when it comes to the LGBTQ community. The topics around that conversation always involve ignorance, so that does not surprise me. The problem I have with it is the religious aspects that we're throwing into it. When people on Facebook or social media or Twitter, whatever the fuck you may be using, are on there saying, well, the Bible says this, or the Bible says this, and the Bible says this. Well, here's the thing, too. The Bible also says that if a woman is not a virgin on her wedding day, she should be taken to her father's house and stoned. That's Deuteronomy 22. So, and I'm not even trying to throw a whole religious thing, but you guys wanted to do this. So I didn't want to throw a whole religious thing into it. But the thing about that is, if you are taking that Bible verse literal, saying that a man should not lay with another man, a woman should not lay with another woman, it's in the Bible. Then let's take them all literal, because there are several of you that are living in a sinful household right now. Several of you that are not married with 4, 5, 6 kids. We need to take you to your daddy's house and throw stones at your ass, because you want to take that shit literal, right? But the Bible also says that he came to make old things new. And again, I'm not trying to be nobody's preacher, teacher, none of anything like that. I'm just telling you what the Bible says, because you wanted to use it. So when you're out here talking about this and this and that with the Bible, you damn well better make sure that your own house is in order, that your own house is not made of glass. Because the Bible also says, let he without sin cast the first stone. When you're throwing metaphorical stones at somebody, you sound like a hypocrite online. Blind faith is more dangerous than no faith at all.
I'm gonna follow up on, so you've handled the religious side of these bigots, right? I'm gonna handle the other side of these bigots. The other side is these people saying that it's a woke agenda, right? That you're pushing your homosexuality on our films.
Annoying.
And it is, but I will say this. So one thing I was very proud about in this movie that it took me back. Is after the first time jump, he sees the engagement ring, right? And he's like, "You're engaged?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Who is she?" And she's like, "Oh, someone I met, la da da da." And then he's like, "You're engaged to someone you just met?" And she's like, "It's been 4 years, right?" And they go on with the story. I was like, they normalized it. They normalized it. They didn't go, "Oh my God, gay people, everyone look." They were like, it was not tokenizing. It was and you see her life. Man, you see this woman's entire life played out, and it's a beautiful life,
it's a beautiful
right?
life.
It is amazing. And so for those of you thinking that an agenda is being pushed, no. I don't see your argument. I see, because here's the thing that is so crazy. I work with people who are lesbian. You see them, and the gay people exist. That's the thing that fucking floors me. It's not pushing an agenda. It is people. It is people that are unlike you, that do exist quite commonly in our society, also existing as a real person in a movie as well. The thing is it's like
you see something
that, but they talk about, oh, it's the kiss. It's the kiss. Bro, I've seen enough kisses in enough Disney movies my entire life to know that it hasn't the kiss has nothing to do with it. Nobody is brainwashing your children.
Sorry to cut you, Trey. I want you to finish that thought. But then, what do we say about like when Snow White's unconscious and she's getting woken up by a man, because she didn't give him consent? That's what I'm saying. You don't get to pick. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to pick and choose.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's what's so crazy. So when we were leaving this movie, it was me, my wife, and my son, right? And, you know, my wife mentioned the whole, I thought this was the kiss out or whatever, right? You know, my son was like, what are you talking about? What's going on? And I was like, oh, that scene where, you know, the woman and her wife kiss each other. And he was like, yeah. Playing on his iPad. And, and I was like, people are mad about that. And he's like, why? And I'm like, so here's the crazy thing about people. People get mad about a lot of dumb shit. Like, people having different skin colors. People are mad about it. They have an issue with it. If two boys love each other or two girls love each other the way a boy and a girl love each other, people get mad about that. He looked at me like I was the dumbest motherfucker he's ever heard on the planet and went right back to playing on his iPad. Like, okay, whatever, Dad. Like, no, that's not a real thing. Because even children understand how stupid of a concept this is, right? Like, it is something that it blows my mind that it's like, it's the same thing as far as when racist grandparents have a mixed grandchild, right? And all of a sudden, no, your eyes fucking opened up now. You know, I hope all of you bigots have children that come out as gay at this point, because it's like, open your eyes. These people exist. There's nothing wrong with them
at all.
And you want to, so you're like, oh my god, there's a gay character in my movie? No, like, shut up, dude. Just you old people need to die off at this point. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
I agree, Q. Your thoughts on this?
I haven't seen the movie, but I did see when I got on Twitter, you see all the stuff circulating around what people are mostly talking about. And I just want to say, like, the movie, this is shit that's made for kids. And so when I hear that kids don't have a problem with it, and then we look at the grown-ass people with jobs and kids to feed and actual fucking priorities, and your main priority is to get on Twitter and complain about a 2-second same-sex kiss scene in a children's movie, like, I think that says more about you than like anything I need to say about a movie, like, and then another thing I want to say, this just goes for every like everything. I mean, I never understood not like it. Being gay is not, it's not like you're judging someone based off what they like, and
that
it's
has
like
zero effect on
and
what you like.
What I've always you shouldn't really judge people, but how you come to your conclusions about people is based off their personalities. And so I think a lot of people need to stop treating gay people like them being gay is their personality, or so like they see a gay person, oh, he only like boys, she only like girls. It's like, and that's the first.
But they showed that in this movie.
But you know,
instead of tokenizing the gay person, they made a person with a rich. We see her entire life.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and they're still gonna bitch about it.
And I mean, I guess it kind of goes back to just something in Eternals too. Like, we didn't know Phastos was gay, and I kind of complained about it too. But I've realized maybe there's nothing to complain about, because it's like you go back and it's like you learn all about these characters, and then boom, it's like it's not a big deal at all.
No,
like,
it's not.
I think I hate when people try to make it seem like a gay person's only trait is them being gay.
No, like if you want to talk Disney Pixar too, there have been what I would call adult scenes. Not adult scenes, but adult references. In every Disney Pixar movie that watching as a kid you won't get, but then going back and watching as an adult, you're like, holy shit, right? And you were okay with it when it was like in Cars. Cars 1's the best example, where Lightning McQueen is there and the two girl cars flash up their headlights at him, and he's like, I love being me. Oh, it's okay when you have cars flashing titties at another car in a kid's movie. Like, get fucking out of here.
It's like people didn't want to give them fucking shine, but right here in good old Oklahoma and Kingfisher, and honestly, I'm not surprised that this happened down in Kingfisher. It's fucking Kingfisher. What is it, like population, 40 down there? 89ers Theater down in Kingfisher, they put a warning on the front window that said, "Attention parents, the management of this theater discovered after booking Lightyear that there is a same-sex kiss scene within the first 30 minutes of the Pixar movie. We will do our best, but we will do all we can to fast forward through the scene, but it might not be exact. We apologize for the inconvenience. This late discovery of the scene, or this late discovery of whatever the scene caused." Here's what I have to say to that shit. Now, let's say for whatever reason, I'm in Kingfisher and I'm at the 89ers Theater, and I paid for popcorn, I paid for a drink, and I paid for the fucking ticket for the film, and I'm one of the ones that the LGBTQ kiss does not bother, and you fast forward that shit, motherfucker.
Because it was a very emotional part of the movie.
Not only, I don't give a fuck how knee deep I'm in the popcorn. I don't give a fuck how many gulps I've taken of the drink. I don't care how much I've consumed of the movie. I want every fucking penny back I've spent. Or you need to rewind that shit because I paid to watch the complete movie. I didn't pay for you to fast forward to 30 seconds. I'm sorry that the 30-second kiss bothers the bitch next to me, or might bother.
Well, she could have not watched the movie then.
Don't watch the fucking movie.
And another thing
if that bothers you, get the fuck up and leave. But either that or give me my motherfucking money back.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you, like, as a small ass movie theater to, like, essentially say fuck the work of Pixar? Like, where are you gonna skip? Like, you know how much time that small animation probably fucking took, and how much
cost
work
more
it
than
takes.
89ers Theater.
Exactly.
But it's
like,
such a wild concept that, like, the movie. Did you ever see Turning Red?
yeah.
Oh,
okay,
God,
so the scene,
on that one
scene that made everyone mad in Turning Red is she is in the bathroom going through pandaing, right? And the mom runs in and she's like, basically like, I have cold medicine, I have wet wipes, I have pads, I have this, I have that. Pads is just one of the things she mentioned down the list of all these things that are unrelated to periods.
But she also asked her, "Is it your something? Your red something?" She did reference to the period outside of the pad.
Yeah.
But regardless, are we talking? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. But the whole thing with this is, so that was such a subtle thing, right? It was very quick, and honestly, it makes, if I have a teenage daughter who's hiding in the bathroom and won't, I mean, come on, right? And honestly, I think they kind of played it in a comical way, in my opinion, because it's like, oh, this is taking a somewhat serious moment and making it funny, right? Where we have movies like Mulan talking about the Han invasion. You know what I'm saying? We have movies that talk about so much more serious things that it's like.
Meetings focused on pads.
Y'all mad about it. And it's like they're pushing their agenda upon our children. It's like, now they're
pushing an agenda. What little girl doesn't go through a fucking period? So that's what bothered me about the whole parents being up in arms about the period joke in Turning Red. So your little girl's not going to go through a period? Why not have Pixar jokingly talk about it? I mean, come on, bro. I just find that shit to be so weird. Like this forcing an agenda on our child thing.
But what we're doing here too is I think the people freaking out about this are making it more of a focus and a conversation than it would be if it was just normally in the film, right? Because I'm telling you, my son watched the movie with me. During that scene, he was so concerned about the woman aging and not being with Buzz anymore. It was the least important thing.
Well, I don't want to say they're not paying attention to it. Some of them are.
But it's the least important thing. And here's the thing. And here's the big deal to me that floors me as a parent. If your kid asks a question about one of these things, great, have a conversation. Learn how to talk to your kids.
Christ.
Learn how to have a bonding moment where you can actually influence your child's life.
It is so simple to say, well, the same way that mommy and daddy love each other is the same way that these two individuals love each other. The same way that mommy and daddy express our love, and you see us.
But I'm saying, even if parents even if parents are against it and you're a bigoted asshole, here's my thing. It's still an opportunity to talk to your child. We spend so much time connected to phones and tablets and all this and that. Bond, talk, discuss, actually talk through it. How did they feel? How did they think? Give the time to talk to your kids, but instead you want Pixar to raise your children and only put in things that, like, get out of here, dude. It's not the 1950s. But I know America has this impression that it's 1950s, but it's not.
I forgot what show or movie something happened, and we had this discussion before, but I mean, you at the end of the day, you can't shelter your kids from the world, because at the end of the day, life happens. The world gonna spin. At the end of the day gonna end. Sun gonna rise. And it's like this shit that you see in the movie, it's real. It's like,
Real.
and it's not a big deal. And it's like some of them may be big deals, like some bigger than others. It's like some worth having debates about. Then there's small
This
shit
was
where
not
like
one of them.
no reason to have debates about. Like you said, these people complaining are straight homophobes. Like it's
That's
nothing
what
to
it
talk
is.
about.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like you said, at the same time, it's always a parenting thing. I think from the
It is.
I'm not a parent,
It's a parenting
but the
thing.
biggest thing you can learn from this is like you can choose how you want to learn. You can see, oh, I don't want to raise my kid this way, how these people are acting. You can watch a podcast like us and then see, oh, these people actually make some pretty good points. Maybe I'll try. It's just, you can do anything, but at the end of the day, it ain't gonna get better unless y'all want to learn how to understand someone other than yourself.
That's it.
That's all
simply,
it is.
It's simply educating yourself, and that was one of the main themes in 2020 during the George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, was educating yourself to the plight of a community. And that's the same theme and the same advice I'm going to throw over to the LGBTQ community, people that have a problem with that community. It's educating yourself on the plight of that community.
Yeah, well, I'll even throw out, just for it, you can look him up on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, The Conscious Lee. He's a debate superstar, basically, black man from Oklahoma. He says, the most common thing he says is just like education is elevation. Just to constantly, you have to learn things. You have to learn, if you want to be against something, you need to learn why, right? You need to quit being afraid of this boogeyman. You said it in our last video, the America afraid of what it doesn't understand. You gotta try harder you gotta try harder, dude. It's pathetic. It's ridiculous, and I'm kind of out of it.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. But again, as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think. If you have seen Lightyear, have you gone to see this amazing film? If you have seen it, what did you think of it? Did you think it was a good film? Or are you on the fence that not because of the LGBTQ kiss, but because I'm just simply not interested in Lightyear, I just didn't want to go see it because it doesn't connect, or I'm not interested in it, Tim Allen wasn't involved, whatever it may have you. Let us know down below in the comments what you think. If you are from Oklahoma or you're not from Oklahoma, what you think about the 89ers Theater putting out such a disgusting warning on their front entrance. Let us know all these things down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you guys